What's up, guys? It's Josh back here from Inside Wrestling Truth. Back with another video tonight. This video, I'm going to give y'all 10 guys that I think should have never held a world title, meaning the WCW World Heavyweight title, you know, the big gold belt, the WWE/WWF title, and the ECW title. And I based this on their wrestling ability. Their championship run as they have the belt. Was it the right time to win the belt? And remember, you always want your world champion to be the guy that can be the face of the company. Okay? And that'll be the last thing. Could they carry the company? Could they be the face of the company? Now, let's start this thing right off the bat. The first guy that I have on my list was a world heavyweight champion not that long ago. And I'm probably going to piss some younger fans off, but Dolph Ziggler is the first guy I like to talk about. Dolph Ziggler is decent. You know, he's a good seller. But as being world champion and being face of a company, nah. Definitely should never have been world champion. I mean, look at his title reigns as he had. I mean, how short they were. You know, when I see Dolph Ziggler, I still think about the Spirit Squad shit, man. It just really Dolph Ziggler World Heavyweight Champion? I don't think so. And sorry to anybody that I'm offending. I know a lot of young fans are going to be mad at me, but I'm just saying he should have never been World Heavyweight Champion. Next guy on my list is another guy from this era of wrestling. He was the WWE champion, and that is The Miz. Just look it for yourself, man. Miz can't work. He's not a wrestler. He's a sports entertainer. He's here to get publicity, you know, for TV shows and shit. You know, when he became WWE champion, it was just like a slap in the face to all the guys that held it before him. Just The Miz is boring to me, man. He can't work. He's not a good wrestler at all. I mean, and you know, I know the young fans will be like, "Oh, you're crazy, you're stupid, you don't know what I'm talking about." But I mean, come on. Look at the list of WWE champions, and then put The Miz next to him. Get the fuck out of here, man. Miz is a joke. Then the next one was WCW World Champion. This one should be on everybody's list because it's David Arquette. David Arquette winning the world title. I mean, he just brought. When you had David Arquette win that belt, that just took all the meaning out of the title. Having an actor come on TV and win the fucking belt. An actor, not even a professional wrestler. People work hard in this business their whole life and don't get out and aren't given the opportunity to be world champion, but you gonna give it to an actor, somebody that ain't even a professional wrestler, just a fan of wrestling? Nah, man, that's a joke. Another guy that held the WCW World Heavyweight title that shouldn't have ever had is Vince Russo. A lot of people have different opinions on Vince Russo. But yeah, maybe he was a good writer or whatever, but that was about it, man. Once again, the same boat as David Arquette. Vince Russo was never a wrestler. He wanted to be a wrestler. For any of you guys that don't know this, Vince Russo wanted to be a wrestler, but he couldn't make it when he was young, so he became a writer. Yeah, but Vince Russo being world champion, another slap in the face to all the guys that held it before him. The next guy that I'm going to say, I know I'm going to get some heat for, the next two guys, but they're in the same boat to me. First one is Kevin Nash. Now, Kevin Nash was WWF champion. He was World Heavyweight champion. But first off, Kevin Nash has got about 4 moves. He's got the jackknife power bomb. He's got the little choke slam thing, snake eyes, a big boot. That's about it. And yeah, I think he was world champion way too many times. WWF made Diesel. They made Kevin Nash what he was. And I mean, I know a lot of people aren't going to like that and probably agree with me, but that's just how I look at it, man. I mean, look at what he was before he was Diesel. He was he was in some fucking retarded tag team. He was Oz. He was Vinny Vegas. His career was going nowhere. He went to WWF and became Diesel. WWF pushed him, put the belt on him after he beat Bob Backlund in like 4 seconds. And then, I mean, he was paid in WCW and he didn't do nothing other than to end up being in the NWO. I mean, look at his match history. Look at it, you know. He beat Goldberg. He in the Goldberg streak, you know. But that's just because he was backstage calling politics, man. It was in his contract. I'm just not a big believer in Kevin Nash. I just don't think I could build my company around Kevin Nash. The next guy that goes is the same way as Sid, man. Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid had the look, but Sid couldn't work. Sid was another guy that had about 6 moves. He was WWF champion, and at that time, that was a good thing. That's what the fans wanted. I like this Psycho character, you know. But he couldn't work. And then when he went to WCW later on, like 2000, and he was with Team Madness and he won the belt, that was, I mean, he's another guy, just like Nash, that you could not build your company around. You can say what you want, but it's the truth. Now, this is the only ECW champion that I have on here. And I thought that it's Vince McMahon. But when Vince McMahon won the ECW title, once again, it was another slap in the face to all the guys that worked in the ECW that busted their ass to held that title. And then Vince McMahon put it on him. Just retarded. I mean, Vince came out with a do-rag on and shit when he was EC. No, I'm not even going to go there. Another World Heavyweight Champion, the Great Khali. No. He couldn't work. He was just big. He had like 3 moves. The big karate chop, the vice grip, the boot. You couldn't build no company around Great Khali. He couldn't wrestle. He didn't, you know, he didn't make the company any money. Now, the last 2 guys I have on the list, this is really going to be controversial, but this is just my feelings. The next guy on the list is the Ultimate Warrior. Now, let me first say, I was a huge Warrior fan when I was young. Warrior was huge, you know. But they put the belt on Warrior. After Hogan beat him, they were booing him. He couldn't carry the company. He was a crybaby. He didn't do nothing with his career after that. That was his moment. WrestleMania 6 was his moment. That was it. I mean, he had a couple feuds with, I think, Rick Rude, and I can't really remember right now off top who he had feuds with after that, but that was it. And that shit, him and WCW was just horrible. But yeah, Ultimate Warrior, definitely. I actually think Warrior was kind of hard to put on us because I actually think you could have built your company back then around Warrior if his mind was right, but he was in it for the money, and that was it, man. And then the last guy on my list, I know I'm gonna catch heat for, but I just call it like I said, and that is Edge. Go back and look at Edge's title reigns and tell me which one was the longest, because he didn't have one very long. He did have some good feuds with John Cena, but I mean, you know, he didn't sell nothing. I mean, you couldn't build your company around Edge. I mean, really? You think you could build? There's people out there that actually think you could build your company around Edge. No, you couldn't. It's hard to say because he retired young, but just from what I've seen, you couldn't build a company around Edge. I mean, don't get me wrong, Edge had some really good TLC matches, but him as a world champion, I just didn't agree with it. He didn't sell, you know. He really, I mean, he might have made a little money for the company, but he wasn't one of the guys that you're going to stop and be like, oh, Edge is on TV, stop everything you're doing type shit, you know. But I always thought Edge was way overrated. But yeah, that's my list of guys that should have never been world champion. I could have put other guys on this list, but I felt that was the best 10. Let me know what you think. I know I pissed some people off. I already know. That's just my list. That's just my opinion. Feel free to comment. Let me know who you think your top 10 guys are that shouldn't have been champion. But I'm gonna get out of here, and like I always say, get your money and pay your bills. Peace.